Welcome to a very cloudy Bathurst, Australia. It's 20 degrees Celsius. There's surprisingly no fog despite what the pictures show you trackside, which is even more interesting, although it is 97% humidity here, so we'll see how that goes. Track temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. Welcome to the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series as we head to the land down under, the treacherous and ever so challenging Bathurst here at Mount Panorama. It is going to be an absolutely wild affair here. 30 minutes on the board here momentarily. The drivers are currently qualifying right now, and if we do have time, and we should momentarily, we should be able to catch the end of a few laps for some drivers. My oh my, last week was entertaining enough as it was, I can say that for sure. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch. It was the Silverstone International layout for that series, or for the series last week, 30 minutes, of course, then 30 minutes this week, and it was absolutely entertaining. And I definitely do not doubt the fact that it will be the same for this week. This week we have 3 splits for the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series on the iRacing service. Welcome to the Racing Line Network. I am Gary Weaver, the one-man person behind everything here. Oh boy, this is going to be absolutely wild. And speaking of wild, let's take a look at the track map heading into this afternoon or this evening's event, depending on which time zone you're in. GMT, it's definitely in the evening. The land down under is a 3.85 mile circuit, 6.21 kilometers, as we take a look at what these drivers have in store. Hell corner, standing start, by the way. It's going to be wild going to there, down the mountain straight, almost quite literally, through Quarry Bend, a little bit uphill into the cutting through the Quarry corner, and then about stagnating here in terms of elevation. Turn 10 is a slight dip downhill, and then the drivers will have an absolute time in this section from Skyline all the way to turn 17, all downhill walls on either side in a very tight section. Through Forest Elbow, down turn 19, a long straight, lots of passing opportunities heading into the chase and into turn 21 as well. Drivers will be hard on the brakes there, and then finally Murray's Corner being the final corner that these drivers will take on here at this circuit. And that is a look at Mount Panorama here at Bathurst. Yep, I said that correctly. That took a split second. Let's see who is on the lap today, or at least who hasn't finished a lap. About 10 drivers have currently set a lap. Ian Joyner is here. Spoiler alert, last week's race winner. He's currently P7. All these drivers have setups available to them. So they're available. That's what the Advanced MX-5 Series is here on the iRacing service. You're allowed to make setup changes to whatever your heart desires, as long as it is within the legal limits as determined by iRacing specifically. So you can't set an insanely low tire pressure and have the ride height be insanely low. You have to conform to a certain point of ride height restrictions. Taking a look at Fonta Garcia as he makes his way through Skyline, actually. We could have gotten an onboard here, and we'll take a look here, actually. Just about good timing. This is going to be a very treacherous section, as I think Garcia did tag the wall. If Garcia did tag the wall, then that would invalidate the lap. Even a 0x incident point will invalidate a qualifying lap. So again, very challenging track. A standing start, and I cannot stress that enough, on the main stretch. Let's continue riding on board here, actually, with Fonta Garcia. $19 cars again for this week. 3 19-car splits for this afternoon. So we are, of course, the top split, broadcasting top split of this specific time slot. No particular reason, just works out for the timing. Let's see if that lap time does count for Fonta Garcia across the start-finish line. And no lap time. Oh, no, correction. Top 6. Well, let's take a look at the starting grid for this afternoon's event as we bring in all these graphics. Apparently, Alex O'Grady had sniped the lead position just at the last few seconds, so Alex O'Grady will start off in first. Rui Philippe will start off in second place. Row 2 has Roy Sunday Maobri. There's definitely going to be mispronunciations. I apologize in advance. Fourth place is going to be Aitor. I'm just going to go with Aitor for now. Let's give this a shot. I'm going to go with Galibari Taru. That was close. Galibari R2. Starting off in the fourth place position. Again, mispronunciations will happen. We'll get there at the end of the day, eventually. JC Lozano will start off in fifth. Fonte Garcia sixth. Adam Robinson in seventh. Carlos Alfredo Bentens. No, almost had it. But come on, we're getting there. We're getting there. Carlos Alfredo. Nope, we're not going to get there. Guevara, we'll just skip I don't know why I'm getting stuck on that. We'll just move on. Ian Rankin and Ian Joyner. The row of Ian, apparently, starting off in 9th and 10th. We're just going to have Lo Rodriguez starting off in 11th. Silas Pedersen starts off in the 12th place position. Starting in 13th is going to be, Raul Hernando. Matthias Nielsen will start in the 14th place position. 15th is going to be Thomas Emiliano, and then all the rest of the drivers will not have so a lot of time. So Hunor Horchi will start off in 16th. 17th is Dimitri Schakart, I believe. Peter Konen starts off in 18th, and 19th is Raul Garcia. Well, that was a trip and a half with name pronunciations. 2 drivers left to grid, but it seems like they will opt to start in pit lane and have not made it. So the red lights turn green. We are green flag racing here. A very anticlimactic start now that I think about it, but all the drivers will make their way through Hell Corner. And it looks like already contact. That's the 11 of Rui Philippe that gets turned. And just like that, chaos at the first corner. Everyone does make it through, luckily. All the drivers, albeit took a little bit of a moment. There's somebody well off in the back there. Is that Philippe? No, that is Carlos Alfredo off in the grass. It is a very humid day, apparently. My goodness. Well, first and second have already split away from the top few drivers. Battle for 10th place, Thomas Emiliano and Matthias Nielsen battling for 11th place. Do they all make it through the cutting? It is what I'm about to be asking everybody here. So far, so good. A little bit of trading pain, but it looks like, yes, everyone does make it through. Well, just like that, Alex O'Grady leads the field through turn number 10. Let's take a look on board with Roy Maobri. Taking a look at this chase down the mountain, through the tight and twisty sections, already hitting the wall. Does anyone else do the same? Again, a very, very treacherous and challenging section here. Looks like everyone does make it through. I'm not seeing anything come up on the timing screens in terms of if anything treacherous happens, so it looks to be the case. Yes, everyone does make it through. And already 2 minutes down, and the drivers still have not completed so much as one lap. It is a very foggy day out here. My goodness. I've seen fog before, but this is ridiculous. Battle for third place as Robinson gets by. The timing tower will come up momentarily here just at the end of the lap. Down it hard on the brakes through the chase. A little bit of grass clipping by O'Grady there I saw on the right side with the right side tires, but he does make it through. And 2.5 minutes later, no, that was not a joke. We have completed lap 1 of an estimated 12 laps. We'll see how things fare throughout the rest of this race, especially for third place. Robinson going to be under fire from Ettore Galbarito. I'm pretty sure that is how it's pronounced, actually, Galbarito. I believe that's actually how it's pronounced, so we're getting somewhere. Very bold decision to do a little bit of a bump draft, but you know what? It works through Quarry Corner, looking off the back end of Adam Robinson's car, seeing, for the most part, what he sees in his mirrors as they go uphill through the cutting. A little bit wide by Robinson, but he does hang on to it. Pass for 14th. Peter Koenig gets by Silas Peterson. Oh, I heard a little bit of a scrape. Looks like everyone's fine. Galbarito will be staying just directly behind. In fact, let's ride on board with Galbarito through Skyline all the way downhill. And it's a steep elevation drop as well. It's downhill is a not exactly the correct wording here in this case. More down mountain, I guess. A hill is putting it lightly. Hello to those of you in chat. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Alex O'Grady continues to lead, but Roy Sunday Mayobry is just within tire tracks, actually. In fact, the last lap, while it being the first lap, actually, we'll wait till the start-finish line to compare their lap times. Seeing a few issues from Raul Garcia, probably having a couple of internet issues. I've seen him grayed out a couple times on our timing screen. Looks to be hanging on just fine. So the last lap between first place and second place, which we will also bring up onto your screen right now. 2 minutes. We'll skip the 2 minute part, but 33.324 seconds. Roy is about 0.2 of a second faster. Give or take a few hundredths of a second, but rounding at the end of the day, about 0.2 of a second faster. And that has shown over the course of this, over the full pace lap that we had. Both of them have absolutely checked out. It's pretty much like the race in Sebring in real life for that Mazda Series, at least the first round that they had. J.C. Lozano down to the driver's right-hand side. Fantastic move up to the 4th place position for him as they go uphill. In fact, it's probably Galbariarto for Eittore's name in the number 7 machine. So, a lot of tongue twisters today. A lot of drivers bumper to bumper here throughout this section. Especially Fonte Garcia. He's got Ian Joyner directly behind him. Last week's race winner from a 3-wide battle, no less. It was absolutely wild in the last lap at Silverstone. Again, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. It was very, very entertaining. It was a great watch. And as always, these drivers cutting it very, very close to the walls here. And that's pretty much their job, essentially, is to just cut it as close as possible. Well, maybe not that close. A little bit of contact made, and the contact made especially for the 13 and the 2. This section is blocked, and luckily that's just at the end of the field. And unfortunately for Hernando and Schockert, their day is pretty much done by the looks of it. We'll take a look back and see what exactly had happened here for these two. Start potentially round. Oh, it was contact with the wall, I think, and just nowhere to go for Hernando. That is really unfortunate. We'll take another look from a different angle here. Oh, just clipped the wall and upset the car. I think might have broken the suspension, I would think, on one of the tires. I think it's the right rear. I think the right rear actually did break there. I see it even from here. It's at a bit of an angle, and that is turning when it not should be. It looks relatively fine. We'll get one more shot on board and see what Hernando had taken a look at here. Just avoids the wall. I saw that correction there. Oh, nearly did the exact same thing. That's just unfortunate. It's a very treacherous place. Ooh, popping into existence was Garcia there. Yeah, that is absolutely, absolutely unfortunate for both of those drivers. That's just how it is, essentially, for this race, or for this racetrack specifically. Once you crash, you better hope that there is some sort of a... You just better hope there's some sort of an opening somewhere at some point in the very near future, within pretty much right when you see what exactly had happened. So I believe Shocker has decided to retire. We'll get your visual feedback momentarily. And I believe that is just in time for almost, actually, a little bit of a look to the driver's left-hand side from Mabry. Just under 21 minutes left to go in this race. Let's take a look at the weather. Well, the air temperature has dropped a little bit. It is now 19 degrees Celsius. The track temperature is a still, relatively speaking, a cool 21 Celsius. The humidity is still a painful 97%. Surprisingly, no fog. Looks like 19-kilometer winds towards the northeast, 20-kilometer winds, so that will also play a factor into this. If I know my directions correctly, that would be going relatively downhill towards the chase, is where that wind is blowing. Lozano a little bit under fire, actually got past, I think. In fact, he might have gotten past El Biarto. It's just a staggering line of cars here, from about 3rd place all the way back to, what is that, 9th? Technically 8th. Seven's having issues of some sort. Not sure why he's being shown to drop down the timing order. Oh, this is why we weren't live. Our apologies. The 7 had some sort of issues. We will get that replay momentarily here as soon as possible. Looks like it was, oh, guess what? Down into the chase by the looks of it. What happened to the 7? I saw him dropping positions. I was wondering what was happening. Did he make contact with Lozano? And, oh no, just went wide, tried to hold on to it, cut through, lost grip, and into the Repco wall. That's very, very unfortunate for Lozano. Meanwhile, side-by-side battle for 5th place. They just sorted out right at turn number 2. But Lozano's not going to stand by. He's going to try and go for it right here. He does decide against it, though. He's trying his absolute hardest, though. That is for sure. Driver making his way around the left-hand side. Just gets the nose chopped off. That is Horky. Hunor Horky, who is bomb drafting the number 8 of Emiliano down through turn 10. Nope, that's turn 9. Now down through turn 10. Riding on board, waiting with bated breath to see what happens, if anything, ahead. This will be pretty much a prime place to make up positions, provided the track isn't blocked. Everyone makes it through. A little bit of a battle going on for P12 between Rui Philippe and Peter Koenen. I believe Peter may have lost a little bit of pace. I don't see any scratches on the car. He might be struggling, as we do have a pass for the lead, actually, just before the chase. It was earlier than I thought it would be, but move Roy Mabry up to 1st place. Will that lead stick is the question. We'll stick with this battle for the moment, and then we'll take a look at that pass down the straightaway between turn 19 and turn 20. O'Grady holds off behind. Adam Robinson has closed the gap between both of these front 2 runners. compare their lap times here once they cross the start-finish line. So the previous lap time of all of these drivers in the top three, a 33.508 for Mabry, O'Grady with a 34.157, and then Adam Robinson with a 32.477. Robinson could be in line to have a win here at this rate. And oh, by the way, we are almost just about estimated halfway in terms of lap count throughout this race. We see a side-by-side battle back there between the 14 and the 19, Lozano and Rankin, respectively. As Lozano edges out ahead, Garcia gets by Adam Robinson. Did Adam Robinson have a little bit of a moment going into Quarry Corner? He still seems to be quite slow. Is he still underpowered is the question. Sure sounds like it. And he'll fall all the way back to 8th. Wonder what happened to him there. Let's take a look back at the entry at turn number 2 for him. Oh, downshifted. Oh, he downshifted 1 extra gear. That is a very, very, very good save. We'll run this back one more time. Watch the gear shift on the left-hand side where it says 4. Watch and listen. I think, and I have had that happen to myself, I think I know exactly what happened. He downshifted to 3rd, and he was going to downshift to 2nd. The car did not let him, and then he downshifted that extra gear once he got under the appropriate rev limit. These cars do have downshift protection, believe it or not. I mean, as any car should have downshift protection. So, if you downshift from 4th to 3rd, and you don't downshift immediately to 2nd, you start to hit that downshift a little bit more and more. You start to hit the paddle more to downshift, and then once it gets to that level, you go to 2nd, and then next thing you know, you're in 1st gear without any other time to think. Robinson very caught off guard a little bit. In fact, I think Robinson might have gotten by Emiliano, and Emiliano is under fire from Hunor Horky. Horchi, I believe, is probably how that could be pronounced. I hear Robinson in the higher gear. I wonder... Let's ride on board with him here throughout turn 1. I could have sworn I heard him in a bit of a higher gear there in Murray's corner throughout that final turn. It's a very distinct higher tone. I'll take a look back a little bit later on because 1st and 2nd are still bumper to bumper. Just the reverse order. In fact, it might be planned to be in 1st. At least 2nd gear. As we switch back to Robinson. Well, now that it's halfway, let's take a look through the field while things are still, I don't know if calm is the right word, but let's just say stagnant, at least for the moment. Roy Sunday Mabry had started 3rd. He's currently running in 1st place. A fantastic job dethroning Alex O'Grady from the dominant front runner so far, and we have seen that in the pace, and we'll see if O'Grady can come back a little bit faster. Ian Joyner has moved from 10th up to 3rd place, and he is charging his way through because he is also quite a lot faster, 32.9 in terms of seconds at the last lap versus the leaders running 53.7 or 33.6. Keep an eye on this number 5 for this week. He won last week at Silverstone. Let's see if he can win this week once again. Tonto Garcia, I believe, ran last week at Silverstone as well. Very familiar gradient. Probably, I believe, ran into some bad luck if he did run at Silverstone. But he is here running in the top 5. So far, so good. JC Lozano started 5th, running 5th. He's doing great. A little bit of a battle for P6 right now between both Ian Rankin and Adam Robinson. Robinson will go with him. He's moving his way up through the field. He's been regulated back to about 8th place because of his gear shift mistake in turn number 2. He goes up to 6th. Rankin goes up to 7th, falls back to 7th for the time being. Thomas Emiliano from 15th to 8th. You don't believe he'd set a qualifying time, but he is still running, and that's always a good thing in the top 10, as getting on the curb and somehow making it stick on the track is Hunter Horchey. Starts 16th, running in 9th. Let's not forget, rounding out the top 10 and the possible potential battles coming into the end of the event. Silas Peterson running in 10th with Lo Rodriguez started 11th, running in 11th. We skipped by Rui Felipe for a little bit. Started second, running 12th, got involved on an opening lap crash. He spun at Hell Corner. In fact, it might have been the incident a little bit later on mid-lap. But regardless, Matthias Nielsen is currently running in the 13th place position as the lights on the Mazdas turn on. I've never seen that before in a daytime race. 18th, started 18th, running 14th is Peter Koeman. Carlos Alfredo Guevara, who's third name I cannot pronounce for some reason. We'll see if I can get a shot here. It's Betenses. Wow, that was a tongue twister for me. For some reason, my brain just doesn't know how to read that. Started 8th, running 15th, but props to Carlos for still continuing to run. I cannot say that enough for these drivers. Even if they're on the down and out, they still continue to run no matter what, and I applaud them for that, as opposed to just taking the tow and leaving just from a spin and then having to serve something like, repair a little bit of damage. Raul Garcia, last of the running drivers, having a little bit of bad luck, it seems, with connection issues and maybe a little bit of pace as well. That's why you see the last lap being a 19.03 second lap. That is not the case, as he disappears from existence for a bit. He is doing his best attempt to run this week, and again, props to him for still finishing. Well, still attempting to finish, I should say. We'll see if he does finish. Hopefully that is the case. The drivers that have retired, 17th is Aitor Galbari R2. Almost got there at the end without issue. He had the issue in the chase. As we see a 3-wide battle, there's another issue in the chase. That's the 6 of Fonta Garcia, who gets turned. Contact is made with Thomas Emiliano. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Adam Robinson capitalizing on this. We'll take a look back at that momentarily. Raul Hernando and Dimitri Schockert both make contact a little bit around the, for lack of a better description, the twisty bit in the downhill section of the track, past Skyline. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We'll stick with this battle for a second, at least through this corner, and now we will take a look and see what happened with Fonta Garcia. I believe he might have gotten turned by Adam Robinson. Let's take a look at see what exactly happened here. Fonta Garcia on the number 6 makes the move. Oh, I see exactly what happened. I think Robinson was trying to follow the driver that was in front of him. I believe that was JC Lozano. Take a look one more time on board. Oh, and he did let out of the throttle too. Oh, that's really unfortunate. And wait wide for a second. I think that was Horchey or Ian Joyner, actually. Well, we are back looking at your live pictures, double checking. Yep. And the first and second place, again, have absolutely checked out a 4.7 second gap between themselves and third place. So effectively, this battle that they're having will be, unless something drastic happens, which is always the case, as I think all 4 wheels came off the track for a moment there for both of those drivers. We'll see what happens in these closing minutes. We are at lap estimated we're at lap 9 at an estimation of 12 laps. That does look to be trending towards that still. JC Lozano in his own little bubble for third place, as he has Adam Robinson, Ian Rankin, and Hunter Horchey chasing him down. Ian Joyner in 7th, I think, was the one that had to take very evasive maneuvers heading into the chase, which resulted in him going off track, losing a couple spots. Adam Robinson trying to not exactly break the toe, but break what he's got at least. Give himself a little bit of space between himself and Rankin. Well, any predictions that anyone has by chance? Because Mayobri has taken over the lead from Alex O'Grady, but O'Grady has been here throughout certain parts of the track, and he could make a couple moves, so the race isn't necessarily over. So, what do we think? Is it going to be Mayobri, O'Grady, or could it be anybody else if these two do end up making enough contact to bring in this case, JC Lozano, who in fact might be in a bit of trouble on his own because he's going to be trying to defend third place from Adam Robinson here. In fact, he's defending so hard his right side tires were in the grass. Not sure if that's the most optimal decision, but that is indeed a decision. Again, a very foggy day here today at Bathurst. Way more than what I thought. 97% humidity. We'll take another weather check once again. No, correction. 99% humidity. Oh dear. I was going to say, yeah, that would explain the lights turning on midday. Again, I've never seen this happen before, and it's very fascinating to see headlights of the Mazdas turn on in the daytime, not to be day running lights, as well. O'Grady has decided he is definitely tired of running behind the running lights of Mayobri as he makes the move down through Skyline. Someone in the chat does have the thought. Hoping the front two, quotes, hoping the front two fight and the rest can catch, but they'll be too smart for that. Well, you're not wrong. Despite the fact of that pass, they have gained a second somehow. I forget when they last checked in on the gap between these two. The last time I checked between the gap, it was 4.7 seconds, and, well, top three are going to be too busy battling. Well, correction, the third through sixth are going to be too busy battling for third place. Here goes Adam Robinson being pushed by Ian Rankin down through the chase. Quite literally being bump drafted here. Careful, everybody, as they just hang on to it. I don't know how they all managed to make that. That was... And now they're single file, as if that just didn't happen. Wow. Well, I think Ian Rankin is a contender at this point for P3, that is for sure. He wants to absolutely get going. Back up front, Mayobri still in the fight for first place. Just because these two are passing each other doesn't mean the fight is over. They have been able to stick with each other in their own land throughout this entire race. Let's see. At this point, yeah, this top three, well, correction, I keep saying top three. This battle for third place, more accurately, has pretty much gone out the window in terms of trying to catch, but Adam Robinson was the closest until he misshifted here on a downshift. He wanted to shift from fourth to third, which he did do. Downshift protection limited him from shifting from third to second, and he, for lack of a better term, panic downshifted, and that forced him down into first gear because he downshifted too quickly to try and get to second. So here he is, still running for third, still running in contention for the third place position. Now, time for a little bit of math, which is pretty easy at this point. We have 3 minutes left. The drivers have done 2-minute 33-second lap times. This is for sure 2 laps to go. We will do our best to catch the battles live as they happen, but realistically, we're going to look at them afterwards if they do happen to be quite entertaining. We will take a look at third place. In fact, as I just come through, that's the gap, essentially. Let's see if we can get a wider angle here. Well, this is the blimp camera, everybody. Can you see the drivers yet? I'm not sure where they're at. Wait, hold on. You can kind of see them. You can see at least 2 pixels of them. They're there. So this is first and second. right under the bridge now. There's third place. Adam Robinson has cleared out. He's going to do his absolute hardest to try and catch first and second if anything does happen between those two. I don't know if that will be the case, but we will see. As they nearly make contact for fourth place, Lozano trying to defend from Rankin. Rankin goes by up to P4. Keep an eye on the starter stand because this time by it is the white flag, as our resident flagman Barney has traveled to Australia with us. There it is, white flag, final lap this time by. You can see the gap once again between first, second, and third, and about fourth place as well. We're going to have our hands full. Headlights active on the Mazdas in the middle of the day. It is that foggy. Despite the fact that it's not even fog, it's that humid, more accurately. Trying for the defensive line is Alex O'Grady. Goes back to the racing line. Roy Sunday Maybury in line. He did have his fair taste of the lead. Can he get his fair taste of the lead when it matters most here on the final lap? Through turn 4, uphill, through turn 3, now through the cutting. Through Quarry Corner. Maybury going to be finding every possible route to get by, and it could be through Skyline. Does he choose to wait before the chase is what I'm wondering. If he does, he might be waiting a little bit too late. They go through turn 9. Now that's turn 9 every single time. Nope, that's turn 10. It looks different from the gearbox camera. Through Skyline they go. Downhill. I think O'Grady was later on the brakes there. I didn't see the brakes light up there for a moment. It might have just been blocked by Maybury right at the last second. And it costs him. O'Grady into the wall, still in the lead. Maybury is going to be chasing him down here through Forrest's elbow. Is there steering damage for Alex O'Grady? Down the final route, I was wondering if it would be left too late, but you know what? This might have been the perfect thing. They go side by side. Did waiting and that earlier braking help Maybury? They go downhill, well uphill, and now downhill into the chase. Turn number 20. Is there a last gasp effort from Alex O'Grady? Will he send it on the brakes? He does. He goes for it right to the left-hand side. O'Grady into the lead. Maybury has the nose, though. They still go side by side. Preferred lane for Roy Maybury. Side by side into Murray's Corner. The final run. O'Grady tries to dive to the opening, and it doesn't work. And that means the winner here at Bathurst is Roy Sunday Maybury. What a beautiful, beautiful run to the finish. Third place does go to Adam Robinson at the end. Is there contact at the end? It looks to be so. We'll take a look at that, but wow. And they've already towed. My goodness. What a beautiful, beautiful run by those drivers. Absolutely fantastic. A few drivers still finishing up their laps. The race is not technically officially over yet. This is Matthias Nielsen. He'll come across to finish in the 14th place position. Again, Raul Garcia, props to him, despite having seemingly a lot of internet issues. May have put him off to be full pace, but he is still finishing. Good on him. And Fonte Garcia in the pit road for the last couple of laps. I wonder what happened to him. We'll see if we can get that, if we can get that afterwards. Wow. And officially, the race has concluded. What a... Wow. So we're not going to go away just yet. We'll take a look at the finishing results and then the final runs to the finish. And we'll take a look and see what happened with Fonte Garcia. In fact, we'll do that in a couple moments. That isn't the right button. That'll be this one for the results on your screen now. Now they're on your screen. They took a moment. They were a little bit shy. They had to get some convincing. Roy Sunday Maybury with a fantastic run. Alex O'Grady also with a fantastic run. Both those drivers did an amazing job battling for the lead. It was clean And somehow Grady, with the dive on the brakes, we're going to have to look at that for sure going into our post-race replays. Adam Robinson finishes in third, and look at that gap, 2.8 seconds. Now, granted, this is more than likely because those two are battling, but they did get the gap down. It was about, I think, 5, almost 6 seconds at one point. So absolutely fantastic pace from Adam Robinson. Ian Rankin finishes in 4th place. 5th place is JC Lozano. Ian Joyner finishes in 6th. 7th place, Tomas Emiliano. I've been mispronouncing that the whole race. My apologies. That is Tomas Emiliano. Silas Peterson finishes in 8th. By Zali, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Rodriguez finishes in 9th. And Huner Horchi finishes in 10th place position. And then the rest of the 19-car grid, Rui Felipe finishes in 11th, Peter Konen 12th, 13th place is Carlos Alfredo Atences Guevara. Got it at the end of the day. Matthias Nielsen finishes 14th, 15th place is Raul Garcia. Fonte Garcia finishes 16th. I genuinely wonder if there's relation to that or if that's just a mere coincidence. Aitor Galabariartu. Let me try that one more time. Aitor Galbariartu finishes in 17th due to a accident that happened a little bit earlier on in the race. And Raul Hernando and Dimitri Shocker also had made contact, both of them ending their races in the round just before Forrest's elbow. Okay, now that we have a chance to breathe, a little bit for me. I need more than just a chance. I need a lot of moments. But to answer some questions in chat, yes, this is the C-Class Mazda Series, the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. Gosh, that's a mouthful. And this top split rating, I believe this one specifically was 3100 SOF. At least that depends. I'll say this: the minimum I rating for somebody here, it depends on the week. That is for sure. The lowest I rating of somebody here, 2261 is what I'm seeing. Somebody else is 2270. Wow. That is cutting it close. Yeah, so I see average about the lowest is 2200. So, in theory, once you get about 2300 I rating, you could maybe, if the splits are kind enough to you, you could definitely run these. I also need to do that myself at some point. I plan to, yet I never do. Right. Let's head to the post-race replays here and see what we can find here, if our software cooperates just a little bit. Right, so something happened with Fonte Garcia oh, right, it was this. Well, you know what? Let's pause this really quickly. Let's go through everything. That's all the grid. That doesn't count. Rui Felipe had some issues in the opening lap. He had spun right in the first corner, a little bit of extra help, and then the 15 as well of Guevara. I saw him further back. I was wondering what happened because he had entered all the way from over here, so I thought he started in pit road. But Rui Felipe and Carlos Guevara had made a little bit of contact. That was on lap 1. And then lap 2, it was Dimitri Schockert and Raul Hernando that made contact right here. Unfortunately, that put an end to their day. Garcia may have made a little bit of contact. Oh, he had spun. I think we missed this. That was just in Forrest's elbow. Ooh, hard on the brakes with the 15. Let's run that back one more time. I want to see that from on board. Guevara had a day, I feel like. Let's ride on board and listen. That's a little bit terrifying to see, just a car behind. It's facing the entirely wrong direction. Galbariartu had also had a moment here. Let's run this back just one more time. I believe, was there a little bit of contact with the 14? Nope, just overcooked the turn number 22 and crashed right into the wall here. And that pretty much spelled his day done. You can see the nose is pretty much gone. And, well, if that doesn't spell day done, then I don't know what will. Silas Peterson on that number 5 also had some issues of his own, apparently. Trying to figure that out. If it lets us. Looks like Pearson might have been fine. It might have just been underfloor damage, to be fair. Let's try running this back one more time. Oh, that's not going to happen, I don't think. Peter Konen Did he have a moment in the cutting? Yes, he did. I believe we caught that. I don't believe we caught that, actually. But that's been catching everybody out. Again, the very treacherous section here. Going into, through Skyline, all the way downhill. These drivers carry so much momentum. Upsets the car just a little bit and just tags the wall. He almost had it. Good job on holding the brakes. That's the 11. I was wondering if Philippe also made contact with anything. I did hear... Oh, that's somebody else. Wait, who was that? Oh, that's Matthias Nielsen. He also had made a little bit of contact. Oh, they're side by side through here. Oh, I think Nielsen... There's no contact, that is for sure. I think Nielsen may have just... oh, it was the curbing that upset the car. Yep, that usually happens. That is... Matthias Nielsen also ran into some more issues. Whew, wow, what an avoidance by Peter Koenen. Some of these things we entirely miss because they're so rapid fire. There's such minimal incidents that we don't really see these pop up on the timing screen specifically. Whew, wow. Great job by Peter Koenen with that avoidance. Fonte Garcia, we saw this crash as it happened. A little bit of contact with Adam Robinson. Ian Joyner just trying to hold his way through. Same with the number 8 machine. That is Tomas Emiliano. We'll run this back one more time. Where's Ian Joyner? There he is. You see the crash, you see the brakes light up. Oh, wow. That is a flick and a half to save, and at that point you're just trying to focus on saving rather than downshifting. Great job. And then Hunter Horchy had an issue on the final lap. Oh, no. Oh, that's what happened. I saw him slow. The gravel trap did a fantastic job, that is for sure. That is contact with the 14 of JC Lozano. Lozano gives him the space, Keep giving each other the space. I think Lozano just... Wow. That's a shot, that is for sure. I think Lozano just came in too close. At that point, you have the entire... Yeah, that's just a little bit of misjudgment in space. I will say, Lozano could have stayed a little bit more to the left-hand side. No reason to squeeze there. But, wow, that was a... Let's run this back one more time here. And we'll have this be our exiting shot, essentially. But, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this broadcast, just leave a like, subscribe, or if you feel financially able to do so, there's a link in the description to make a donation if you feel that is necessary. It is not 100% necessary. It is entirely optional. Primarily, I'm doing this for fun. Money is a second object. So I just want to focus on bringing you the insane action such as this. That is a shot and a half right there. My goodness. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. We will be back next week, same time, different track, however. Not the same place, same time, same channel, but a different track, as next week we will be heading into Zandvoort. I believe the national circuit layout, a shortened layout, essentially, of Zandvoort. So not the full Grand Prix layout. Hopefully all of you enjoyed this as much as I did, and we hope to see you all next week at Zandvoort. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.